Well, by this time, the original shamans who had survived the revolution were all dead, and so their children and their grandchildren dug up the drums. They knew where the drums were, and in addition to sending out confusing vibrations to Western leaders, they were allowed to have their original ceremonies, and then the anthropologists said, this is not a religion, this is something you should be proud of. It's part of the folkloric legacy of Russia. The word folkloric works very well for communists, and I've experienced this twice. When Mao Zedong took over in China, the traditional Chinese medicine was banned, and I actually went to a play in the United States, which was the first play imported from communist China. It was about a family that was working hard to be patriotic, and they were persecuting the Chinese doctor in the area. They were making fun of poking needles at people. It was a play that was in honor of the so-called barefoot doctors, which you probably have heard of. And so the original stance was to ban ancient Chinese medicine. Well, finally, they figured out they couldn't do this. So then the communists did something very clever. They said, all right, this is part of the folklore legacy of China, so we're going to allow it, but Chinese medicine is practiced in so many different ways in different parts of the country that we want to have a standard, and we'll call it traditional Chinese medicine. And what they did was to pull together acupuncture, moxibustion, herbal treatment, massage, and physical exercise. And those are the components of traditional Chinese medicine. So you can stretch just a little bit and say, you might say that Mao Zedong invented traditional Chinese medicine, because before this revival, Chinese medicine, going back thousands of years to the Yellow Dynasty, the emperor of the Yellow Dynasty in the ancient text, was practiced differently in different parts of the country. Well, now it's standardized. Now actually, okay, and then I went to Cuba, and when Castro took over in Cuba, Santeria was banned. This is superstitious, this is not Marxist, and so Santeria is an African Cuban religion.
This is
it's very colorful, and but the whole point is Castro ran into the same problem. It simply went underground. So he decided, all right, Santeria can be practiced. This is part of our folkloric legacy. So Santeria came up again, and if this is going to hold true, North Korea is going to eventually legalize shamanism by calling it a folkloric tradition. Because South Korea has had shamans operating openly ever since they became a politically independent entity, as you know. Side issue, the whole point is that shamanism is now alive and well in Siberia and throughout the rest of the country.